Let me take you back to when Capcom Street Fighter 2 came out. I never heard of the first one, but hey, this is an awesome game. Can't wait for Street Fighter 3. Then comes Street Fighter 2, the Champion Edition. Oh, cool. Street Fighter 3 is next, right? Nope. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Okay, awesome. Can't wait for Street Fighter 3. Super Street Fighter 2. Cool. Street Fighter 3. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. What the At first I thought all these updates were kind of nice to hold you over, but how many times can you update the same game? It's getting ridiculous. I'm not going to buy it again. Well, then finally comes Street Fighter Alpha, then Street Fighter Alpha 2, and after that, I honestly lost track. There was eventually a Street Fighter 3, like 9 million versions of it, but there was also Street Fighter Zero, Street Fighter EX, EX2, and EX2 Plus, not to mention way back on the NES, there was Street Fighter 2010. Couldn't tell you where that fits in. And speaking of Capcom, Mega Man's another series where the numbering got confusing. There's Mega Man 1 through 6 on the Nintendo, but then on the Super Nintendo, there's Mega Man X, which at the time I thought it meant Mega Man 10. Then came Mega Man X2 and X3. Strangely enough, there was a Mega Man 7 on the Super Nintendo after all. Yeah, that's right. 2 different series running, going on at the same time. Then on the PlayStation consoles, there's Mega Man X4, X5, X6, and X8. There was even a Mega Man 8, a regular Mega Man 8, on PlayStation. Now, if only they made a Mega Man 9, it would come full circle. Doesn't end there. What's this? Mega Man Battle Network series? Mega Man 64? Did they really make it that far? No, that was just the Nintendo 64's stupid gimmick of putting a 64 at the end of every Another thing that ain't gangster is when the Japanese and American releases of games differ. The results can be pretty confusing. A good example is when Super Mario Bros. 2 in Japan wasn't released in America until later, but what we got in its place was a completely different version, though it was still called Super Mario Bros. 2. And the Japanese one came later as The Lost Levels. The Final Fantasy series is the prime example of this. Not being a hardcore fan, I'll attempt to explain it to the best of my knowledge. From what I understand, Final Fantasy 2, at the time of its Japanese release, wasn't released in the US. Neither was Final Fantasy 3. But Final Fantasy 4 came out here, and because we didn't have 2 or 3, it wouldn't have made sense to call it 4. So what do? They call it Final Fantasy 2. Now, Final Fantasy 5 wasn't released here either. So when 6 came out, that became 3. Final Fantasy 3 also happens to suck. Now, remember that after that, Squaresoft started releasing the next Final Fantasy games on PlayStation. Things changed, and now they weren't the titles anymore. So when Final Fantasy 7 came out, they just called it Final Fantasy 7, and that's where the confusion began. I wondered, what the happened to 4, 5, and 6? But what I should have been wondering, little did I know, is what the